Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Kathleen Miner, founder of Hopefull Handbags Global Nonprofit, and I am here with one of our amazing authors of the book Handbags. Welcome, Ewa Wiko.
Hello, hello. So happy to be here.
So happy that you're here. How are you doing today?
Oh, great.
Good. So I read your story. I'm very inspired. These have been some amazing stories within this book. So just to head this off, you all are going to want to get this book to be inspired. But I have some questions that I'd like to ask you that I was
Perfect.
just thinking of as I was reading it. I
hmm
want to get everybody else involved here. So you talk about the blend of traditional and alternative healing methods. So first, can you explain to us and share with us some of why you started to research holistic approaches to things? What got you on that journey?
Um, my diagnosis of endometriosis, which
Okay.
came back, and uh, previously, a few years before, I was just had operation and was removed. To be honest, I didn't even knew that it can come back. And then
Mm,
all of a sudden, one day, I was like, "Whoa, all right." um, I suppose I was at different level of consciousness a little bit. I knew a little bit more.
mm,
I was older. I've heard, I've seen a little bit more. So I was like, right. How about we try something different this time? And even going further, on just trying to understand what and why versus only, okay, there is some symptoms, there is an issue, so let's just tackle the issue. I was very much so questioning, but why the issue is there in the first place, you know? Whereas usually the medicine that we know doesn't
mhm.
do that. The medicine that we know is like, okay, issue, let's just attack the issue, let's fight the issue. Whereas I
Right.
internally felt, no, I don't want to fight it, I want to understand it, and I want to see it from different perspective. And like, I think I mentioned that in the book, I needed a hug. I didn't need
Hmm.
scalpels, and I didn't need a war against it. I really deeply felt that I need very different approach this time around.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. You found out you had endometriosis. You had surgery thinking it's going to fix it, and then it came back. And
Yeah.
so, what kind of things that share with us some of the approaches maybe that you took and how you found, you talk about a holistic approach, and of course, some medical stuff might need to be involved in there at some point. How did you
Yes.
find a balance between the two?
Um, I suppose that's how my story started, where I kind of went like, fine, I'm leaving the medicine, I'm doing something completely different.
Uh huh.
But it turned to be quite slow and not fully effective. And that's my story starts with my biggest ever pain that I ever experienced, to the point that I wasn't sure whether I'll manage to get to my car, and then am I going to be able to drive home. These were the questions. I was like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose that's when I said, right, maybe I need to do a little bit of mix. So it's like, I went on the medicines that I was originally prescribed, and between this and adding then other levels of
Mm-hmm.
bioresonance, energy healing, really going energetically inside myself, understanding
Mm-hmm.
myself more. Loads of discussions, loads of shamanic different approaches as well. As I was taking still pill, to be honest, this is my first week that I put the pills away. So I'm so
Oh,
excited.
congratulations. Congratulations.
Yes, so I'm feeling great, and I had all my scans done last weekend, and it's perfect and it's brilliant. I'm just
Oh,
thrilled.
so great. Congrats.
um,
That's a huge feat. That's a
it
huge
is,
step.
it
And
is,
you've
yeah,
taken the steps to take it somewhat into your own hands as well, which I think
yes,
is really important because I think people think, okay, well, I'm going to take this into my own hands, or this is what people think when you're talking about it. Oh, well, you're going to let everything else go to the side. No, you just want to be in control of it, right? And have a better
yeah,
idea of what's
exactly.
going on.
Yes, yes, yeah. I
Now,
think we are.
go
I
ahead.
think we are taught that way, that okay, something is wrong with your body, you go to the doctor and doctor will tell you need to do this, this and that, versus you are your own doctor, you are your own best doctor. Okay, we cannot do everything, okay, but
Mm,
somewhere there in the back of your mind, it's not really mind, it's really in your heart and in your gut, you know what's the best for you. We just unfortunately taught not to listen to ourselves, you know.
right. Oh, absolutely.
And
I
sometimes
agree.
looking for those quick fixes. Okay, my head is hurting, so yeah, let's take the pill because I have a million of things to do, you know, on my to-do
Right.
list. And instead of actually lying down and giving yourself an hour or half an hour rest, you just keep going because that's the life we're living, unfortunately.
That's a great example because I will tell you, I mean, what a 10-minute or 20-minute just sit down will do for
Yeah,
you is
yeah, sit down,
amazing. And
put
I
the
don't
phone
mean,
away, and just rest.
yeah, I don't mean
Yeah,
sit down and get on your phone or sit down and try
yeah,
to do other things. I mean, sit
yeah,
down and just, and if you fall asleep in that 20 minutes, let your body fall asleep if you can. I
exactly.
actually, I set the timer on my phone just to make sure that doesn't happen. Make sure
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, I will get up if I fall asleep.
yeah.
But I love that you brought that up because I think a lot of people need to hear that that's okay.
That's
Even if
okay.
even if you're in a full-time job and you get a break or a lunch hour, go sit in your car. Set
Yeah,
a timer. We all have the luxury of having timers right in our pockets these days, right? Where back in
yeah,
the day we didn't have
yeah,
that. You'd have to say have somebody, knock on my window in 20
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
But I think that's really important to tell people what a shift that can make. So you talk about that you incorporated practices like meditation, grounding, and breath work are some of the things that you did.
Yes, yeah.
So which of these in your mind had the most profound impact on you, and how did they influence your healing process? I mean, maybe there was more than one, but how did that integrate in you healing?
There were probably few. One of which definitely was what's called womb awakening,
Okay.
where you go to your femininity archetypes and stuff like that. Very energetic and shamanic.
I
uh,
love that.
but uh, but this made me, and I talk about it in the book, so I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
too much,
let's not,
um,
but
but that really made me connect with my flesh, that kind of way, like with body and flesh. There
mm,
were practices there where you waking up in the morning, and I still do that. I wake up in the morning and I touch my every single part of my body, and I say good morning my legs, good morning my boobies,
uh,
good morning
yeah,
my hands, that kind of way. You
yeah.
really start talking to yourself and feel it, that kind of way. So that was definitely a big one. And then something that also stayed with me is fasting, and it's a
Okay.
different type of fastings, whether I've done a little bit longer ones, and I keep doing intermediate fasting pretty much all the time. So what that did, on the other hand, that really showed me my relationship with food, which I never
Mm,
seen before. Why do I eat? Like, why? Like, 99% of the times I'm not even hungry. It's my head saying, "Oh yeah, how about this? So how about that?" but am I really hungry? I'm not. So that really refocused my way of looking at food and actually making sure not only that I eat when I need, but also what then the next step was, what am I actually eating? You know, that kind of way.
What are you putting in your body?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love when you talk about the mindset of what if it works?
Oh, yes.
I mean, how did you find that shift in thinking? Like, how did that impact your life?
That changed a lot. Everything. To be honest,
Mm.
I had completely different out of health situations this week, and I was like, but what if it works? You know, it's like,
You went back to it. Yeah,
why
yeah.
not try it? You know, and a lot of things wouldn't even cost you. The trying very often doesn't cost, right? Except
Right,
for
right.
that stepping out of like, this is your life, this is what you're supposed to do and stuff. But what if there's something more? Why
Right.
not? Why not try?
I love that.
And to be honest, this is one of the reasons why we even having conversation like that, because I remember hearing about the book and I was like, no, really, but really, but what if I could actually bring something? What if one of my story could actually, inspire someone as well? So what if?
Absolutely.
So
And the stuff
what?
that you've gone through isn't just, the ways that you've handled this alternative methods and these other ways of thinking aren't just with endometriosis, like you said. This goes into other things, but there are so many women that I know of personally that have suffered with endometriosis,
Yeah,
and still do.
yeah,
So your story is going to be very inspiring, because I think a lot of people are put down the path of, well, honestly, there's nothing else we can do about it, or we've done all we can. We've done all we can,
yeah, yeah.
and that doesn't leave for hope, right? I mean, we
No,
need a
no.
little bit of hope. And what you're
Mm,
saying, what if it works? That's full of hope. That's like, well,
yeah, yeah.
let's do it then, because what if
Oh,
it
I have
actually works?
goosebumps on
Yes,
me.
I love that. And that's
Yeah,
whoever's even listening to this interview, and of course, when they read your story, is going to be so impacted. I know I was, about the inspiration of, we, we go through things, but you know what?
yeah.
What if it works?
What if it works?
Just
Exactly.
ask yourself that question. So you talk about, there's a moment where you decided to seek help and let go of the need to do everything alone.
Mm.
What led you through that journey? How did that change your journey moving forward? So you talk about, we're not going to give too much away from the story here, but that cold Sunday morning when the severe pain forced you to admit that you needed help, you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Was that was, like you said before, was that the catalyst between, combining together the holistic approach and the medical?
It was as well, yeah. But it also, for example, that made me open up to some of my close people as well. Like I know my sister was the first person that knew, and probably the only person that knew for a very long time, um, that I'm struggling again with that. She as well kind of went into like alternative help for other people at that time. I think those years, because that's a couple of years only, I think a lot of people kind of went through big changes on those times. So um, I kind of told her, listen, that this is what I'm dealing with, and this is what I've done already. So I think that was quite big for me as well, to be able to actually, not to be able, that sounds wrong, give myself a permission to tell somebody about it. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
more that way than be able, like, you be able to talk whatever you want,
Right.
but um but yeah, that I myself gave myself permission. Yes, you can actually you can actually talk about it, and you can actually see maybe other people will have other ideas as well that I haven't thought of.
Right, right. Yeah, because doing
Yeah.
things alone isn't fun. But you do have to be in
Yeah.
that right mind space and be ready to talk about
Oh,
certain things.
100%.
And
100%.
to the right people, right? The people that
Yes.
you know are going to be there and be supportive. And
Yeah.
if you don't think they are, don't even go there. Just leave that one
Exactly.
alone
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not going to work out. I love that. So now you help people.
Yes.
I mean, you probably help people all along in different ways. However, this has led you to help people. Like, you're combining painting with coaching to help others.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that is. How have you seen this impact the people that you help
Um,
and yourself? How has this impacted you, even by doing this journey with helping other people?
yeah, that have yeah have been that I can't even say it. That's how big impact it got on me, to be honest. For me, that's the biggest prize that I could get. Seeing those clients, seeing their changes,
Mm-hmm.
looking at them, and it's like I don't even have words for it.
Right. Yeah. No,
It's
it's got to be
so
it's got to be absolutely amazing, and knowing that the stuff that you've gone through,
yes, and I think
sometimes
that's
it's,
the thing, that the
mm-hmm,
understanding, like I can talk with someone and we have connection straight away, because I understand the pain. I understand getting up every morning and having pain. I understand not being able to walk because it's your body is shouting at you so much, that kind of way. Whereas a lot of the times it's like, yeah, it's a pain, it's a pain. A lot of people who
mm-hmm,
never had that would be like, oh yeah, just take paracetamol, you'll be fine. It's very different, very different
mm-hmm.
world when you're waking up every morning with pain. So I think when you go through something, and then you can really associate with those people closer, and I feel like, especially when I went through it so alone for so long time, I feel being able to step into that and being open those people up as well, that kind of way, because I can say, yeah, I
Yeah.
can understand what you're talking about.
Yes,
So
being
yeah,
able to
big time.
relate, and then it changes. I mean, I think that's amazing. And also, did
Yeah.
you find that people really enjoy having something with their hands and a different kind of an outlet for them, and seeing that
Yeah.
they've done something so creative? How does that help change your mind?
But you see, that was a part of, so when it comes to endometriosis, when you look at the causes, because nobody talk about it, but when you actually dig in
Mm-hmm.
to um, to literature and stuff like that, there's uh, two main causes of endometriosis, and in fairness, not only endometriosis but also different imbalances in the womb. That's how I call it in general. Um, it's about storing trauma, and it's usually trauma with body related, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
and it could be something very, very kind of minor, like you're changing nappy in a public place, for example.
Mm-hmm.
That could give you a trauma, but it could be all the way to like very violent
Mm-hmm.
oversteps when it comes to the body, right? So there is a huge
Mm-hmm.
spectrum of, it could be something very tiny which you will never think about, that could affect anybody, but if there is circumstances, that baby could read it as a trauma for them, like overstepping, because that baby might not be comfortable in that, that kind of way. So it's either storing or of the trauma, or not giving birth. Okay, so us as a woman, we are designed to produce, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be a giving birth to babies, but it could be giving birth to projects. could be giving birth
Yeah.
to other things. And that's where I suppose my painting come along, you know? I was like,
Okay.
oh, interesting. And it's even interesting in the sense that I never thought that I am like I have any you know ability or talents and stuff like that.
Oh goodness.
uh,
Yeah.
you know, from school I just remember, oh yeah, we did some painting and stuff, but nothing really major, you know. That's why I believe that what I'm doing is not, it's not me doing, you know, it's I've been guided here to do these things, because I literally sat down and I started creating art and it's just flowing. I
Wow.
never went to any school. I never did, you know, practices and stuff like that. This is all self-taught, but it's not self. I really believe there is someone there up
Yes.
there.
I agree. I have to agree with
And
you on that.
exactly. And I'm just hands here in the flesh that produces.
Well, that's amazing. You're doing some wonderful things. I could see how not only with you going through what you've been through, where you understand where people are coming from, but then seeing how by combining these together has literally changed your life. I mean, I can hear it in your voice, I can see it in your face. I mean, it literally has. So anybody that's watching this or listening to this on podcast, you're going to want to get the book, The Handbags. There's so much
Oh
more in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have on our Hopeful Handbags website, it's hopefullhandbags.org. That's hopeful with 2 L's, like full of hope. If you click on Eva's picture, you will see that there goes to a bio, and you'll be able to get all the ways to follow her and contact with her and ask any questions. The pre-sale is on sale for digital here, and then we'll be able to have the hard copies are going to be available in a few
Yeah.
months. You're definitely going to want those. So is there anything else you want to tell the audience before we head out?
We're signing them on the 6th of March, which is actually my birthday.
Oh, it
So we're
is.
signing it, yes, on the
Oh,
6th
that's
in Belfast.
awesome. I
I
did not know
know.
that was your birthday. Well, then I'll be there for your birthday. So
Yes.
that's absolutely amazing. So, yes, and you'll be able to find that information as well on the hopefullhandbags.org page. If you are in Ireland or Northern Ireland or even the UK, really anywhere in the world, I'm
Yeah.
in the US and be able to make it over. So,
Yeah.
you can make it over. You're going to want to go to this event. It is an
Yeah.
amazing event, and you're going to meet some astonishing people, and of
Mm.
course meet some of the authors that are in this book. So thank you so much for being here,
Thank
and we look
you.
forward to reading more about you and hearing more about you on other podcasts and in the book. So we'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.